kung for comparison dun po sa mga binigyan po ng pinatungan ng bounty. For example po itong mag-asawang Tiamzon, yung mga CPP leaders. Ipinatong po sa kanila knowing na napakarami na lang na commit na paglabag sa batas, 5.6 million pesos each. Pero kay pastor na hindi pa napatunayan yung kasong isinampa laban sa kanya, laban kay pastor, 10 million pesos. May we have your comments on this po?
Sige, unahin ko lang briefly. I know that case. Si Wilma Chamson at Benito Chamson, although patay na mga ito, at naging karne norte na yata sa Samar. Sorry for the term. They really become literally corned beef. Sumabog sila doon sa bangka, sa enkwentro, ay convicted sa abduction. Parang kinidnap nila ang isang tinyente na naging general, kilala ko rin ito, at dinukot nila mga sundalo. They were convicted of that crime, and 40 years yata, attorney, reclusion perpetua is 40 years, tama pa ba, attorney? Na-convict ito, tumakas. Fugitive talaga from justice kasi convicted ang mag-asawang ito. At tumakas na sila. At tama po kayo, ang reward money, patong sa kanila, ay 5.6 million lang. Bawat isa. Kay pastor, combined, ay halos magkapareho lang. Hindi pa convicted, wala pang trial, akusado lang. And by the way, the correct term, Edlinggaw. At pati na sa ABS-CBN, sa ANC na nag-i-interview, kay Pastor Kibuloy ay accused at large. Klaruhin po namin na yun ang correct term. May mga abogado dito, accused at large or suspect at large. Kasi wala pang na-prove. Pangalawa, gusto nating i-emphasize dito sa lahat na nakikinig sa press conference at tayo nag-wrap up na, that Pastor Kibuloy is a displacement target lamang sapagkat ang totoong gusto nilang i-cripple ay hindi na makabangon muli. Ang uri ng pamumuno na kagaya ng dumaan na Rodrigo Duterte. At hindi pwedeng bumalik ang isa pang Duterte bilang Pangulo ng bansa. Why Pastor Kibuloy? Because Pastor Kibuloy provided a very significant information trail na niyakap ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Whether we like it or not, kahit wala dyan si Pastor sa official na mga organisasyon ng SMNI, ang SMNI became a trailblazer and a different way ng pagbibigay ng impormasyon. Kailangan itong maputol kaagad. Ang pagdomina sa isang bansa ay nangangailangang ikontrol at dominahin ang impormasyon. Sorry to say, wala na pong nagbibigay ng ganitong talakayan. GMA, ABS, TV5, all of them tiklop, naninikluhod, either co-opted or corrupted. So ano na lang ang kulang para makontrol ang buong impormasyon? Eliminate Pastor Kibuloy, Kingdom of Jesus Christ, and then eliminate SMNI. Yun po ang game plan nila. And then the Duterte and them, sunod na ito. Hindi po ito matatapos kay Pastor Kibuloy. Definitely. The story will not end here. Yung lawlessness of this government.
Maraming salamat po, Ka Eric. At ngayon naman, susunod naman na magtatanong, kasama naman natin isa din sa mga anchors and reporters ng SMNI, si Franco. Franco?
Yes, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Una po sa lahat, gusto ko lang din po tanongin itong bagay na ito na we know for a fact that the most organized crime syndicate in the Philippines, the number one enemy of the state, is the Communist Party of the Philippines, NPA-NDF. And we also know for a fact that this organization is declared or designated by the Anti-Terrorism Council as a terrorist organization. And one of the things that really complicates the most is the agreement that they had in Oslo. That was on the 23rd of November, 2023. And this organization are ganging up on KOJC. I just want to make it clear, is there any violation that the Philippine government committed when they had that agreement with which Vice President Sara called agreement with the devil?
Yung tanong po ninyo ay ano ang posibleng na-violate na
Yes.
mga legal provision sa batas sa ganitong pakikipag-back channel talk doon sa Europe.
Correct.
At nagkaroon pa ng Oslo Communique na i-resume ang peace talks sa designated terrorist organizations.
Correct.
Okay, so magkakaroon lang ako ng political view. Ibibigay ko muna yung legal perspective sa kina Attorney Torion in as far as anti-terrorism law is concerned. Or baka after sa comment ko, saka sila mag-comment. Sige. Unahin ko muna yung sagot doon sa political aspect niya. Thank you, Brother Franco. Mga kababayan, malinaw po na naghahanap ng isang legacy daw si Marcos Jr. At gusto niyang papaniwalain tayo na sa kanyang panahon matatapos ang nagsimula na madugo at napakalupit na communist terrorism sa buong mundo na hindi pa natatapos hanggang ngayon. Nagsimula yan sa tatay niya, okay, sa Marcos Sr. So ngayon, nagkaroon siya ng back channel talk last year. Nabulgar po ito at nag-react ang buong security establishment. AFP, PN, marami po ang nagulat na magbubukas ka ng pagkipag-usap sa 15th deadliest terrorist organization designated by more than 12 countries. Itong mga CPP, NPA na ito. Ngayon, ang sagot dyan is very simple. Gagamitin niya po ito na showcase for propaganda. Pero hindi po totoong magkakaroon ng kapayapaan sa ating bansa sapagkat hindi po iniiwan ng CPP, NPA, NDF hanggang ngayon ang kanilang layunin na pabagsakin ng gobyerno gamit ang armed terrorism and armed uprising against the government. Number 2, ang layunin nito ni Marcos ay isurvive niya ang kanyang natitirang panahon na hindi siya pupukusan ng atake ng CPP, NPA, NDF at doon mapupunta ang atake sa kanyang mga political opponents which nagsimula last year sa atake laban sa Vice President orchestrated by the CPP, NPA, NDF. At number 3, sa tingin ko po, ito ay isang political decision ni Marcos Jr. para po ipakita na kunwari siya ay may ginagawa para sa kapayapaan. Samantalang lugmok at tapos na ang CPP, NPA, NDF, ito ang kanyang gustong ipakita na sila ay magkakaroon ng political settlement. Tinanggihan ng kanyang amnesty offer at hindi sila kumikilala sa National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict at ayaw nila na magpapatuloy ang anti-terrorism law. Ang tanong kay Mr. Marcos, will it be legally tenable na ipagpapatuloy mo ang pakikipag-usap na dinesignate ng gobyerno natin mismo na ito ay mga teroristang organisasyon? Declared na ito sila, kulang na lang ng judicial proscription against the 3, CPP, NPA, NDF. But I think this is an issue na iniiwasan niyang mabulgar. At yan ay nabulgar kahapon sa publiko na mayroon palang nagpapatuloy na back channel talks na ginagawa ang gobyernong Marcos sa CPP, NPA, NDF. Kung kaya ang mga atake ay hindi sa kanya kundi kay Pastor Kibuloy, sa mga Duterte at sa mga nagtanggol sa gobyerno at programa ng Rodrigo Duterte at ngayon ito ang nagagamit niya bilang attack dogs niya. The legal perspective bibigay ko sa mga abogado.
Well, this move on the part of President Marcos in entering into Oslo Joint Communique in 2023, admittedly, this is a political matter, a political decision on his part, and that is within his discretion. Okay, we cannot question that because that is a political question, if the Supreme Court would term it. And since he is the President of the Republic of the Philippines, that is his wisdom as to how he will navigate the direction of the country. What we can say, however, is the much emphasis on this pivot towards peace talks of the government towards the NDF. When we know for a fact that there are more pressing problems affecting the country nowadays. Sa tingin po namin, ang pinaka-pressing problem po ay yung ating basic commodities na napakataas na. Yung bigas na 20 pesos ay 60 pesos na. Ako, taga Davao del Sur ako. Yung mga kapitbahay ko doon, umaangal kasi ang mahal na ng mga palaliton. Ano ba yan sa Tagalog? Sa mga bilihin. And national security issues. There is really grave danger on our part to merit an attack by China, and that has to be attended to. Widespread corruption. I am a practicing lawyer, and I can really feel the widespread corruption nowadays, which is a stark difference from the Duterte administration. No, although meron ding pitsi noon, no, pero mas grabe na ngayon. No, these are the pressing matters that should have been given attention by our president. And as to why he is doing this is a question that has to be answered by him. It's just that we feel that this should not be a priority.
Yes, thank you so much, attorney. I just want to go back again to this question because there's an information came out about the still coming from the CPP. They want to add amount for the bounty. If I'm correct, yeah, that was 30 million for the head of pastor also, because we know that the CPP has two faces kasi. There's the illegal and there's the legal way. So talking about the amount equivalent to shoot to kill order, are we talking about like, because we're talking about like the bounty hunters. The bounty hunters, there's a lot of organization. We don't know this in the underground world, but there's bounty hunters looking for this. Is this either Ka-Eric or attorney, are this the legal way of doing this or the illegal way of for the hunting of pastor? Because we cannot let this slip away. Hindi po natin to pwedeng ipagwalang bahala yung mga ganitong impormasyon, especially we know that this is the CPP.
You know, sir, good that you stated that, because knowing that all the time I am now shown on TV, there are so many persons who will give me unsolicited information, such as but not limited to such information about rewards, no, which after checking may be true, no. I received certain text messages from friends and from other sources that there is that rumor that a part of the bounty which has been raised may have come from the left. Yes, and it's not only 2 or 3 persons I received in the text messages, no? But once we verify it, parang kasi may pattern na. So, kumbaga, sana hindi ito totoo, and yung admission lang ni Secretary Abalos, no, is really dangerous, no? And as a matter of fact, his admission is actually, no, unwittingly he may have admitted the commission of a crime, because indeed, if you put up a reward, the reward should come from the coffers of the government and not from private persons. Because indeed, if you will allow that to happen, what would prevent him from accepting gifts which are already in violation of PD 46 or direct bribery, no? Because direct bribery may be committed if he accepts gifts, even if it is for the purpose of doing some things which is not a crime. So, kaya nga, dapat sana iklaro natin na itong ginagawa nila kay pastor, no, hindi talaga makatarungan, and the amount itself really is mind-boggling compared to the other bounties that they raised as against real criminals.